GM everyone, I'm Mark Builds It, and this is the creator-driven community. So the other day I got whitelisted for this PFP NFT project, and I had to shill pretty hard for my spot, but I was sure this thing was going to moon, so I figured it would be worth the trouble. I thought the thing was going to mint on Mainnet, but then on drop day I realized it was on an L2, so I had to bridge some ETH over and then swap for some Matic so I could pay Polygon for the gas. But in the end I was able to mint 3 of these things. And then, like 2 days later, when the floor was up to 3 ETH, the devs shut down their Discord server, erased their Twitter accounts, and drained the wallet. They rugged the entire community, and now with zero utility, the whole thing is NGMI. Okay, so if none of that made any sense to you, it's time to brush up on your Web3 vocab. We'll start with GM. So GM is the greeting that you'll see over and over again in Discord and on Twitter. It just means good morning. You also see GN for good night, and that's a really simple one. There's this whole culture built up around people who say GM and people who don't say GM. I've never been good with small talk, so I'm not a big user of the GM. So I mentioned PFP. PFP stands for profile pic. This or one of ones. Those are the 2 types of NFTs that people are most familiar with. A one of one is just that. It is a unique piece of art. It's kind of like people's collage of photographs. But a PFP is typically sort of a generative art piece. It can be hand drawn or computer generated, but there are different traits that change as each NFT is minted. There's another word, minting. That is just like minting a coin. It's when a NFT is created and is generated and moved on to the blockchain. NFT. NFT is non-fungible token, and that's kind of the reason we're here. Shill. Shilling is a thing. It is a way to drive hype, and it's basically when someone just jumps into a Discord server and starts talking about this great project and how it's going to do so well. It is part of the hype machine. I stay away from projects that force you to shill to get on their whitelist. Okay, so whitelist. Well, whitelist is the list you get on that allows you to either mint early or just be allowed to mint. And of course, the flip side to whitelist is blacklist, and those terms are kind of loaded. They have sort of a nefarious history. So a lot of projects are moving to allow list, pre-mint, or mint list. Moon. So this is just a simple expression like this project's going to go to the moon. It's going to shoot up in price. That's not a hard one to figure out. Mainnet. Mainnet is the main layer of a blockchain. So with Ethereum, the mainnet is the Ethereum mainnet. And this leads into L2s, and those are just the layer 2 networks. So they could be a secondary blockchain that rolls its transactions up into the mainnet, or it could be a side chain, which is what Polygon is. Polygon is a privately run chain, but it uses the mainnet security features to secure the data on its chain. Their L2 and side chains is kind of like it's in the weeds as far as what's the difference between the two, but we'll get there one of these days. Okay, bridge. Bridge is what you have to do if you want to move currency or tokens from the main chain to a side chain or a layer 2 chain, or to jump from one blockchain to another. Drop. Drop is just the day that an NFT gets released. ETH. ETH is short for Ether. It is the currency that allows you to pay for transactions on the mainnet for Ethereum, and it is kind of the unofficial money of Web3 and smart contracts. Swap. So there are a ton of DeFi protocols out there. So DeFi is decentralized finance that allow you to swap one coin for another, and there are thousands of coins out there. Every project seems to have its own coin. Matic. Matic is the fuel that you need to use to pay for transactions on the Polygon network. Floor. So the floor is the base price for a collection of NFTs. If you have 10,000 PFP NFTs out there, you can go to a website like OpenSea.io and you can look at that collection, and the floor is the cheapest price you would pay to get one of those NFTs and get into the project. Discord, we talked about a while ago. It's kind of the most common place to go to check out the vibe of a community, and of course the vibe is just sort of the feeling you get when you're in there. Some vibes are really shilly, and they're just like, oh, you've got to do all these different tasks in order to get on the allow list. Other places are more chill, and you can just kind of hang out, get to know new people, learn about the project, or even contribute to the project. Twitter. So Twitter is kind of like the place where you would go to discover new projects. It seems like it is the home of Web3, and it is where people go to talk about Web3. Wallet. A wallet is a lot like what it sounds like. It's the place where you hold all your transactions, your currency, your NFTs, but it's a little more complicated than that, and that's something that we're going to have to get into before too long. Rugged. So rugged is, if you can picture in your head someone standing on a rug and someone else coming along and pulling it out from underneath them really rapidly, what's going to happen to that person? That's what happens when you get rugged in an NFT project. The founders, the developers, the devs, they just take the money and run, and everyone else is left holding the bag. NGMI, that stands for not gonna make it. And you'll hear that a lot. You'll see that a lot when somebody is proposing something that they don't think is going to work. They're just going to say, sorry, man, NGMI.